What is up, everybody? We are back with some more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and we're here to answer that question: should you pull on the new Angeal Beach banner? If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, follow along with what we do here, hit that like button, and comment down below. Now, a quick word for those of you who are new. This video is not designed for those who are whales or those who are, have that specific character they have to have everything for. This is more designed around those people who are trying to figure out maybe how to spend crystals more wisely. They're free to play or spend very lightly, and they're trying to figure out how to best utilize their resources for their team. Again, if you're somebody who has to have everything for Angeal, like he is your favorite character, then by all means go ahead and pull on the banner. Just make sure that you've got enough crystals to get you to that 12th stamp where you can get the outfit. If you're a whale, whale's gonna whale, so do your thing there. But like I said, this is designed for those who are free to play or very light spenders, and you're trying to figure out, is this banner worth dumping what crystals you have into it with what could be potentially coming up. So first things first, one of the things I always like to look at is the overall look of the outfit. Now, I did this in the news and updates video, but I'm going to do it again here anyways. Even though it's goofy, I really like the look of the inflatable sword. I think it looks awesome. I really like the look of it. It's silly, it's goofy. Yes, this is not going to be used for an actual combat, but I like it. It fits the theme. It's really cool. I do love the look of the sword. You got the rope coming down the side and all that. Like, it looks so cool. I like that. And it really does look like it's an inflatable, like, toy. The overall look of Angeal, you've got the long shorts, the rips, the double belt I don't get, but whatever. The shoes look nice. You got the little ankle bracelet there. You've got, his necklace, which matches the ankle bracelet. You got another necklace in which his sunglasses, the amber lensed sunglasses are hanging on. He's got tons of bracelets on. We got this blue one. We got the leather bound bracelet with the watch up here. We've got another one around his arm. I was kind of hoping maybe just like an earring on him or something like that would kind of fit like that beach vibe, which he doesn't have. We got the tank top that's tied, which I don't really necessarily like the look of. It looks like he's got like swim trunks on underneath the shorts. And then you got the I'm assuming a black tank underneath the outfit itself, but maybe it's like a half tank or something, because it definitely doesn't come all the way down. Overall, I do like the overall look of this. It's not my favorite outfit by far, but it's also not the worst either. It looks alright. But like I said, my favorite is by far the sword. The sword just looks absolutely awesome. Now, that being said, we got the looks out of the way. What about the stats? So remember, Angeal is geared as a tank, and this does complement that. His first R ability is the P-Def to all allies, 15 points, so all allies are getting plus 20% to their defense. Now, to not completely overpower Angeal in this Beach Guardian thing, they have taken off, there is no physical defense here. He gets magic defense and HP, but he's gaining the physical defense from this. So while yes, it's helping to boost the allies, at the same time I feel like he's almost losing a stat here. Or he's losing an ability stat here, because when you look at everybody else, they're getting a, they have like a magic defense, physical defense, HP already. So it's weird that, I guess that he doesn't get that inside of his, even though he's getting the boost P-Def, because everybody else is getting that huge boost to defense then, because they're already getting a plus 15 or 20% defense because of whatever R ability they've got here, and then they're getting this on top of it. Why is he not getting the same treatment? He's the tank. He's the one who's going to be taking all the damage on himself. He should be getting even further boosted here. So it makes even more sense, honestly, even though I said at the beginning it kind of makes sense now. It makes even more sense for him to have it. So that's something. So for me, I feel like because this has been moved to a P-Def all ally and he loses a P-Def here, I feel like he's losing an ability stat. So that kind of puts a big negative mark on it for me, especially, like I said, if he is going to be this tank. Like I said, if you look at the others, so I can come back over here to Tifa's real quick. And we go to the physical magic ward. I mean, she's getting 20% to her physical and magic defense already, and this is giving her the HP, but she's getting physical and magic defense plus 20%. Right off the bat. You go to Aerith's. Same deal. We come down here. The pink flower pin. She's only getting magic defense, I'm sorry. But, there are other characters that are getting that as well. They get that P-Def, M-Def. So she's getting that on top of the 20% boost here. And she's not the tank. She's not going to be the one who's having all the damage focused on her. He is. So I find that weird that we're losing the P-Def here. I wish they would have left the P-Def in here, give him a P-Def plus 15%, and add this one in. Like I said, without it, it really just does feel like he's lost. He's really only getting one R ability, in my opinion, here, is what it feels like. Again, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking into that a little too hard, but like I said, as a tank, I really feel like that should have been there. The inflatable Buster Sword, like I said, I love the look of this thing. When we look at what it does, so it's going to do an AoE attack, physical damage. It's one of the few physical AoEs we actually have. Almost every AoE we get is always magic. So I love that there's some physical AoEs in here. Which it's non-elemental, so that's not really the big draw of it. It's going to do the apply ailment water weakness. Now, we have had another weapon that has done this. And I was trying to remember what it was in the news and updates. And I forgot to look it up, so I'm going to quickly do that really quickly here. Okay, I found it. Now, I don't think I have this weapon. I do have it pulled off to the side over here where I can look at it. This will quit changing so I can still see it. It was Vincent. I think in my update video I said it was like, I think it was Yuffie or it was Sid. It's Vincent. Let's quickly see if I pulled for this weapon. I don't think I did because I wasn't fully, like, convinced. I did get one copy of it. Yeah, the Gun of the Worthy here. Now, this was a limited time weapon, I think. Let's find out real quick. Featured wish list. Yeah, this was a limited time weapon because you can't wishlist it. So let's go back to it for just a second because we can use this some comparison purposes here. So this was the first weapon to do this. Vincent. And it provided ice weakness. So any enemy that was not weak to ice or resistant to ice, you can make them weak to ice. It was a single enemy though, whereas the other one's going to be AoE. And it provided a 30% ice weakness ailment at OB5. And then it also had the condition of it was first use only. So it could only happen one time, and it gave us a P attack to all allies and then the ice potency. If you were to fully max it, that ailment went up to 50%, but again could only be used one time and would last for 150 seconds. So going back to this one, this is one where it's applied to, again, all enemies, and it starts at 15% instead of that 30%. However, this does not have the restriction of being a first-time cast only. You can repeatedly cast this. So you're losing the 15% off the bat, but you are getting the ability to cast it multiple times. But again, it cannot be put on something that's already weak to water or that is resistant to water. It does have the ability to provide provoke. So again, that whole tank idea with Angeal, he's forcing the damage onto himself. And when his HP is 70% or more, all allies are going to get a P-Def increase from low to mid. We do have a boost HP buff debuff extension for our abilities, P attack, triangle, sigil. This is definitely designed around the new Yuffie critical threat event, or summer event part 3, however you want to look at it. It is heavily designed around that. Now, so what happens if you do you know, you pull for this and you go further with it. So if you go to OB1, it's going to be doing 460% physical damage. Again, doesn't really matter. The water weakness has gone to 20% for 40 seconds. Provoke still stays 60 seconds. And then same thing with the PDEF increase, 70% or more, low to mid. Now, are you going to be main-handing this weapon or off-handing this weapon? Well, for me, I would offhand this weapon and then have something like his... again, let's assume we're doing a water battle here. I would have then his... Which weapon is it? Here it is, the Mithril Slasher. Now this does water magic damage. It also lowers his lowers the water resistance on all enemies when he has a buff granted to himself, which he has Provoke, which I think that's classified as a buff. So, and the fact we look at the other thing, it's only giving him HP and buff debuff extension. It doesn't really conflict with this. If it was giving P attack, it'd be a little different. So you could use something like that, or if you did pull on the limited banner from the Final Fantasy VI crossover event, Angeal, you might also have the... This is the one I'm thinking of. This is the Tranquility. This is a limit break weapon. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. That's right, Sephiroth had the water weapon that was Final Fantasy VI crossover. Sorry, but the Tranquility here, this was a limit break weapon, so you can get it in the limit break draw. It does water elemental damage to a single enemy, provides Provoke, gives Veil. So this could also be another potential thing. It also is a P attack boost. The other weapon's going to be P attack focused as well, so those will drive a little bit better together because of that. But anyway, I would offhand this, and like I said, I would have one of those water weapons as his main hand. So I'm going to look at this from the perspective of we are offhanding this weapon. So all these are going to be halved, so keep that in mind. When it comes to your R abilities and what they're going to provide for you, I'm going to cut these in half. So giving you 32 points, so really you're only getting the benefit of 16 points. You're getting 30% to your HP. Buff debuff is going to be at 7, so you're getting 40% to buff debuff effect duration. So something to kind of keep in mind there. It's not amazing at OB1. And the 20% while is nice, like I said, you're still far from that 30% already. That was at just base 1 for the other weapon. Alright, you get this thing up to OB6. You finally do hit that 30% mark for the water weakness ailment application. 560% physical, non-elemental damage to all enemies. But again, one thing to note, even though I said that the percentage was weaker on the others, this is an AoE application. All enemies are getting this water weakness plus 30%, not just one like the other weapon. So, and again, it can be cast multiple times. Provoke 60 seconds. HP, or when HP is 70% or more, so that still doesn't change. PDEF is going to increase mid to high for all allies. You're probably not going to be casting this back to back though, so you're only going to be getting that first potency. That's something to probably note here. I wouldn't see myself casting this twice in a row. I'm going to cast it and then physically attack with my main weapon, and then when this wears off, cast it again. The other suck thing here is this lasts for 20 seconds and this lasts for 50 seconds. So you're going to be casting probably when the PDEF wears off. So you're really never going to lose the water weakness, but I kind of wish these kind of timed out together a little bit. HP has gone to 40 points, so again, you're really only netting the 20, so you're still stuck at 30% to your HP. 27 here, so 13, you're still at that 40%. OB1 to OB6 changes nothing in regards to the HP and buff debuff extension. You are getting a big boost to your P attack here, but just something to kind of note there. I didn't mention this earlier, this is getting a P attack triangle sigil boost, which again really works for this Yuffie event. If you do take this up to OB10, okay, we get another big change here. Obviously, the damage has changed. The water weakness doesn't change. It stays 30%. I kind of wish this went up to like 35, 40%. Again, it's not going to hit that 50% like the other one, but it's hitting all enemies instead of one, so I don't mind it being slightly weaker. But I would have liked at OB10 for this to have gone up to like I said, 40%, 35%. It's going to last for 60 seconds, which is now lasting as long as the provoke. Awesome. Provoke still stays there. And the HP threshold doesn't change. It stays at 70%. I kind of wish this would have dropped down at OB10 as well. Dropped down to like 50%. Because again, you are putting provoke on yourself. You are taking all the hits. Your HP is going to be going down frequently. So your HP is going to have to be kept up high for this one. You're going to be constantly healing him. But if your HP is above 70% or more, the PDEF is going to be high to high, so you are getting that high on first cast, so you don't have to cast it twice to get there, which, like I said, I wouldn't be doing that anyways. I'd only be casting it once. It's only lasting for 25 seconds, so it's not that long. HP's gone up to 46, so again, 23, you are still at that 30%. That has not changed. So from having it at OB1 to OB10, if you're offhanding this thing, there is zero change in the amount of HP you're going to gain off this, which sucks. Buff debuff is at 39, so you are going to get all the way up to, so at 19. So you do get the jump here. You're going to jump from 40% to 80%. Again, this is offhanding. I would not imagine main-handing this thing. And again, I could be wrong in that assessment, but main-handing this just doesn't make sense. If it was at least dealing water damage, maybe. If this was doing, 640% physical, water elemental damage to all enemies, I would main-hand this thing. But not when it's doing non-elemental damage. So, yeah, and then stat-wise, P attacks at 604, which is, again, kind of on the weak side here. I kind of would have liked maybe to see this thing have some P-def. Or a little bit of M-def here. Just for the sake of it being what it's going to be for. It's for a tank. So overall, my thoughts on this, when you look at just Angeal's stuff, it's not a strong banner. It's a unique banner. It's not terrible, but if I had to pull for one of these three banners, Angeal's easily the bottom. Like, it would be, I'm going to pull for one of these two first, and then if I have crystals left that I didn't mind spending, then I might pull for Angeal. But I would rather pull for either Aerith's or Tifa's before I would pull for Angeal's. Now, again, in the regards of, is this something that you should pull for? I can't suggest it. I really can't. It's cool looking, but the item can be wishlisted. We can get this in later draws. And, I mean, we can't yet, but as soon as it gets added to the wish list, we'll actually be able to should be able to get it here in the weapon exchange. I said it's not going to be there yet, but when you get these weapon gear vouchers, you can exchange it in here. So this is going to be a pass. Again, it's not terrible, but there are things that could have been done to make it more desirable. Like I said, giving the PDEF to himself in Beach Guardian as well as the PDEF to all allies, I think would have been really, really beneficial with him being a tank and drawing all that damage towards him with Provoke. Making this so it had done water elemental damage instead of non-elemental damage. So you could main hand this thing and then really get the benefits of these R abilities, I think would have been great. Dropping the HP to 50% at OB10 would have been awesome. Going the water weakness up to 35-40 at OB10 would have been great. It's kind of a mid banner. It's not terrible. It's not the worst I've seen, but it is mid. And in the regards of what weapons we've been getting recently, you could say I would say it's bad. But in regards of what we've gotten over the time, it's not the worst. But I cannot recommend pulling on this banner. This is going to be a skip for me for sure. And especially, like I said, when you look forward to in August, we're getting the Dragon Quest. I think it's August or maybe it's July. We're getting the Dragon Quest Builders, I think it is, crossover. So that's going to be coming up here soon. And the I'm trying to find it here. Where was it at? August, yeah. So it's gonna be in August. Dragon Quest Tactics, sorry, not Builders. But yeah, it's coming in August. We're having that crossover, and usually they give us some really beefy items for that. And when you look at what comes the month after that is our 2-year anniversary, and the anniversaries are always big events. So I would rather save my crystals at this point and see if there's anything tempting in Dragon Quest Tactics, but really start saving for that anniversary and dump more into something there where I'm probably going to get some more use out of it. About the only really beneficial thing in this banner is Red 13's ultimate weapon. You have the potential to get it here. That would be the better item in this banner, out of my opinion. But that's kind of my thoughts on this banner. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on the banner. Did I overlook something with this banner? Is it better than I'm making it out to be? Or, you know, did I give it too much credit? Is it worse than it is? Do you agree or disagree with what I had to say about it? Again, let us know down in the comments. Let's start that conversation. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, follow along with what we do here, and we'll see you in the next one.